So I'm going to give a little bit to let people flock in. That's weird. Flock, the pretties, fly, flock. I mean, flock, flock. But anyway, this is another topic that is consistently asked of me to cover, so finally I'll cave in and give ways to invert the bond with Lilith. Because right off the bat, if you have the approve and choose to work with you, or she, for lack of a better way of saying it, claims you, I'll be giving some simple but very beneficial ideas that you can do to strengthen the bond with her. And this is going to be slightly different than the video I put out some time ago about how to, or ways to honor Lilith. But it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, not a problem. And actually, funny enough, some of the things with, hey Jeremy, some of the things that I'm going to be going on about Lilith, to an extent, can also be applied to hell in some manners. So, I guess we'll just go with our first one. And the thing is, with Lilith, and even hell too, but primarily with Lilith, when improving the bond and connection with her, most of the time, it's not as difficult as you think it is. Of course, by nature, us human beings are very fixated on the details and trying to get things absolutely picture perfect on the spot. No, no tarnishes, no whiffs, no critical fails. Everything is as flawless as it possibly can be. As beautiful as that sounds, that is, in terms of love, that may actually turn out to be rather a setback. Because the reason why I say a setback, because Lilith, as a divine, as we all know, hopefully by now, she is a divine that is free spirited, as in, and we all know, she does as she pleases. You can't tell her no, you can't restrict her, you can't tell her that she can't do anything, you can't force her to do anything either. Because when you attempt to, she will just look at you all. So you mean to tell me I can't have any alcohol in the AM? Vodka. Hope you saw that. Here's the replay. I just did it. She is the type of divine that is definitely not afraid to remind you point blank. I do as I please. Hi, Kat. I hope you're okay, Kat. Hopefully you know an atom didn't make you sick, because you know how them atoms are. Oh, stupidity, so horrible, and actually induces somebody to vomit. One simply does not be so stupid that it causes upsets. No. But as I was saying, Lilith thrives on authenticity, being exactly, in other words, she would much rather have you express yourself in creativity and do as you do freely, if that makes sense. In other words, to better put it, Say, for an example, you're writing a piece of poetry, or if you're drawing or painting or expressing yourself creatively in any way possible, in any artistic expression, including witchcraft. That is an art craft. Same with the cult. The minute that you actually allow yourself to just flow, just let it go, and just allow is it allowed to go and pretty much be created without any restrictions or like anxiety or being intimidated or timid, and you don't criticize the work that you're doing but you're not finished yet, when you allow that flow to come, that gets her attention. That gets her to go, what's going on over here? Oh, well, look at you go. I like that color. I like that shade of red. I'm gonna put a little bit of a shocked face on this guy, getting backhanded. There we go. That draws her. When you're allowing yourself to create with your 100% authentic self doing it, that brings her to you. Because just like how Lilith is free spirited, you're allowing that creative self expression to flow without restriction. You're not restricting yourself, you're not criticizing, you're not restricting the creative process. When you are allowing it to flow, it's in a way indirectly, pretty much indirectly inviting her to come towards to take a look. Exactly. Hecate is another one. Although, in my experience with Hecate, though, Hecate shares a similarity with Nyx in terms of the way that she communicates. She communicates with a sense of cryptacy and makes you really have your, that's a better way of putting it. She makes the hamsters in your head run amok on the running wheel, and they just keep going and going and going. And pretty much you get almost like, what the heck was she trying to say? What was Hecate trying to say? I can't get it out of my head. I can't understand it, but I need to understand it. At least that's how she is towards me. And Lilith does have that same aspect of seduction too. But with Lilith, though, it's a bit more bitey, if that makes sense. In other words, probably Jeremy knows this example the best. That again? This is let me know when that's done. Oh yeah, he's back. Yeah, Jeremy knows when she comes in, is like making it known that, uh-oh, we're not going to go that way again. But it is what it is, and everything takes time to grow, just like a tree or a plant growing. You can't expect to plant daisies and expect them to pop out of the ground just like that. You need to have the remnants of a Adam who kicked the bucket by your hand to push up the daisies in the first place. So everything takes time. So authentic, being authentic. Hey, moth. I think it's your saying. When you're allowing yourself to create without any holding back. Because usually one of the best ways of communication, now that I think about it, is beyond just like what words are coming out of somebody's mouth and the tone. It's about how they're actually portraying the information by mannerisms and the whatnot. As somebody said, I'm trying to remember, a friend of mine, I can't remember his name right now. As he said, it's not what I say, it's what I don't say. So pretty much that's a cryptic message in its own. But anyway, back to improving the bond below. So first off, whenever you're doing any kind of creative expression, allow yourself to express that with authenticity. Allow it to flow. Don't let any kind of criticism from you or anybody else prevent you and hold you back from allowing yourself to create and flow. Because just like with Lilith, even in the very beginning when she was being fanboyed at by Yahweh, that's a form of restriction. It's restricting her and not allowing her to experience the new place that she's in or her surroundings. She's being restricted by being distracted consistently by a notice me geezer that was so focused on having her be his queen. When you're able to flow and express without resistance of any kind, that's your way of expressing that's expressing with pure authenticity. And she's huge on it. So don't be having the idea of going on bandwagons or mainly following trends. Follow what's best for you and what connects with you. Just because everybody jumps off a cliff doesn't mean you need to jump off a cliff too. And that's not really a good way to live anyway. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean you should do it too. If everybody decided, oh, you know what, I'm going to be an idiot, and everybody decided being idiots, do you want to be an idiot too? I hope not. But if you're making the choice to be an idiot because everybody else is, wah, 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 wah. Bad idea. Please don't do that. Save me the head face palms. And don't do it. Next. This is another easy one. Prioritize impressing yourself first. Prioritize your needs first. Prioritize what brings you fulfillment. Prioritize what you want to do. Prioritize what makes you feel alive. Prioritize anything you want to do that isn't going to be painful and harming others intentionally, unless if it has to be done. Do what you want to do that's going to make you feel the most fulfilled and alive first. Some people would be thinking, if I'm wanting to get closer with Lilith, shouldn't I pursue her? Logically, that makes sense. It does. But going back to the core with her, what is her core? Empowerment of the self. So, to gain that connection better with her, empower yourself. Make yourself be in your full 100% capacity of putting out results and getting fulfillment. If you make that priority number one, she'll just start appearing all over the place in your surroundings more and more frequently. When you put yourself first, she naturally comes to you. If she does consider you one of hers, or she agrees to work alongside you and support you and guide you. When you put yourself first and ensure that your fulfillment and what you want and your empowered state comes first, no matter what, if you keep that focus, she'll just come on her own. She'll appear on her own. You won't even have to really look hard. She'll just pop on in and just, I'm here for the party. Looks like fun over here. Because before it was boring, but now it's actually appealing when you put yourself first and what you want to accomplish first. Regardless of whatever somebody else wants you to do, best example, you shouldn't be doing that. That's not what I would do. Well, I'm not you, so don't let others steal, and I'm using that word correctly, don't let others steal your fulfillment and what makes you feel like you're living your life as it should, fulfilled to its highest potential. Because that's not fair to you to have to go from, I'm not being fulfilled and doing this BS routine over and over and over again. I want to do what I want to do. So just do it. I just had to do that little reference joke. I'm still here. I'm just trying to figure out where did I put this one box? Oh, there it is. right in front of my face. Making an alternate Lilith piece. While I'm thinking about it, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a drink. So, intermission. And if you have any questions, just start plopping them in the chat and then I'll answer them when I return. Okay, let's see. That's the right one. That's the so let me see real quick. Mm-hmm. Everything comes in time and practice. The heck? Okay, here we go. My phone was being stupid for a second. But what else is new with technology? But anyway, next little tidbit on how to improve the bond and connection with Lilith. Taking a stand against what you know to you is not right. Not being afraid to stand up and say, "Dear, you're stupid. Quit it." In other words, if there is something that you know to your core is not right, which does include someone pushing onto you a way for you to feel that is not true to you. Someone is saying you should feel like this, or you need to be more like this, or they are demanding you conform to whatever kind of BS shenanigans that they're trying to push. If you have that kind of situation happen, take a stand against it and be all, don't know about you, but I do what I want for me. My feelings are valid. And if you don't like it, well, remind me. Is it my problem that, you don't like how I feel? Oh, wait, no. Of course not. It's not my problem. Stop hissy fitting and scram. I mean, I'm not lying. If somebody gets into a hissy fit, oh my gosh, you're acting out of line. You're taking things out of context and being too serious about it. Another hissy fitter. That's okay. You'll learn sometime. But if you're being met with resistance and someone discrediting how you're feeling, even if it's good, bad, dreadful, doesn't matter. You don't need to have that in your life, and you can take a stand against them, saying, "No, these are my feelings. This is how I feel, and I didn't ask if you liked it or not. This is how it is. Deal with it." And if there's any kind of like hostile response back from that, just still keep your ground and just no. If you wanted a pacifier so bad, here, open your mouth. Literally. Don't let other people's uncomfortable state of being mess with you and hold you back from you. Because when you take a stand against it and remind people, I'm living whose life now? Mine? Perfect. You know what that means, right? I hope. Yeah, my life, I decide how it goes and how I feel is valid, and you're just disposable. That's kind of putting it in a harsh, blunt way, but still, it's still the truth, though. Because in your life and how your way of living is, you are priority number one. Everybody else is extras. That sounds so narcissistic, but still, like what I've said all the time. If you're not good and if you're not standing on your own 2 feet and if you're not well, it doesn't matter what's around you. You're not going to be doing well. You have to come first. Always. No ifs, ands, buts, tushies about it. And if somebody doesn't like it, oh, Lord forbid. I can't handle somebody being themselves and being freely expressing themselves and allowing them to feel their feelings. I can't deal with it. Oh, error code 36.exe does not compute. No. Other people's hissy fits and discomfort of your fulfillment state and happiness is not your issue. They can handle it on their own. They can figure it out in what they're trying to do towards you. Because if you don't allow them to do it and don't allow it to affect you, they'll pretty much just be wasting their time, effort, and energy being stupid. And you can laugh at them, being like, really? Wow. Still acting dim-witted 30 years later. New record. That is a total of 7 weeks still acting stupid. Well, this person's trying hard to get me off track. Another way to improve your bond with Lilith. Specifically, whenever you're interacting with her, like if you're speaking towards her, usually this is, say, after you have grown familiar with her energy and you know how her energy is and you're used to it. And have a good one, Kayla. Be safe out there. hmm hmm Yeah. And Jeremy, whenever you do something else by routine, there's nothing wrong with fulfilling your responsibilities and obligations to other things. That should be done. But if you want to do something, go for it. I mean, what bad can happen? Somebody's all like, "Oh, he's not doing what I want to do." Well, that's not your problem. They're hissy fitting. Any hissy fit outside of you is woe's at him. And as for the girlfriend that does that, kind of criticizes and the whatnot, I mean, to be kind of a little bit point blank, honestly, if anything, I would look at that and just respond in a way that's saying, thanks, thanks, love, for reminding me that you care so much that you become obsessed with whatever I'm doing, and you're wanting to make sure I'm doing it the best possible. But I got this, love. But thank you for showing your concern by wanting to improve it. Passive aggressive, you better believe it. But it's also letting it be known that stop. Because there's a fine line between providing some sort of feedback for expansion of potential and nitpicking just to nitpick. Because believe it or not, the more effort that goes into being nitpicked, that same effort could actually be applied to actually taking the action to better it instead of complaining. Next aspect to actually strengthen the connection with Lilith. Actually, I was still going on about communicating with her. Once you get used to her energy and how she interacts with you, because she may not act the same towards everybody. Remember, And one of her traits is that she is a maven of seduction. What's the word maven? Look it up. I can't tell you everything now, but still. Essentially, if it came to who was the original writer of The Art of Seduction, it was Lilith. That being said, communication with Lilith, there has to be this understanding that using words that are not common, speaking in a way that has an enchanting low pull to it, that actually intrigues her to become more apparent and actually come towards you with more, to better say it. She becomes more, put this, she gets more drawn to you and becomes more nowadays. Most of the words that are used are low level, vulgar, kind of BS types of words used. And after a while, it gets very boring and kind of like vomit inducing. So if you start using, that's the best way of putting it, if you use bigger words, words that have strong imagery, you may actually see her become more apparent towards you. Next. Now, this one might be a tricky one. This one might be tricky, but you have to be remembering what her core is. Empowerment of the self first, then everything else follows suit afterwards. Being able to dress and express yourself in the way you present yourself to the world, regardless of whatever anybody says or whatever you think somebody might react with. In other words, if you feel empowered to dress in a way that might be a little bit pushing the boundary in a way, but you're dressing that way because you are full of confidence as the primary focus rather than just dressing in a way that's suggestive just for the heck of it. There's the difference. Dressing how you want to in confidence is a way to actually properly honor and make sure that you are going with your core value instead of just dressing just to see how many holes are visible on your skin, the piece of clothing you wear. There's a fine line difference. Because dressing in a way that makes you feel empowered and a way that makes you feel attractive, that's empowerment of the self. So it works. But dressing just because you want other people to notice you and for you to get looked at by other people, because you need that, dressing just to get attention, you shouldn't have to fight for anybody's attention. You should just dress how you want to dress for you. But please bear in mind, keep in mind, of course, you can't just be dressing like going out in your intimate wear. You have to be realistic and practical. And, people think that, well, are you okay? Because that seems like a problem. Doing that, that's not the main intention with it. No. You have to be able to understand and adapt to your surroundings and not put yourself in jeopardy. Because if you're going to put yourself in jeopardy just to attempt to honor somebody, to honor a divine being, you're not really going to get far. In fact, they're going to look at you and say, wow, you're trying too hard. Quit it. And funny enough, Lilith is actually, the more you think about it, she's actually very simple to impress. Very simple. Because all you have to do, primarily the core, is empower yourself. Know your worth and don't let anyone misdirect you from going towards where you want to go to. If you maintain that and you prioritize that as your core foundation, no matter what, connecting and being alongside of her is going to be so simple. But, however, though, as easy it is to have her be drawn to you, it is so easy for her to go, I quit. No, 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 no. You want to go back to being stupid, so go back to being stupid. As soon as you get her, she is so simple to go, okay, no, done. She's one of those you have to maintain that empowered state of yourself. You have to maintain it. Otherwise, she's going to go venture off and find something that's more uplifting and fun to be around. Because although, despite being known as a crone goddess, because she is a primordial goddess, not a crone, because of the idea of being old, an old woman, she doesn't present herself like that. No. She knows how humans think, how they act, how they interact with one another, and how they carry themselves. So if you're being your authentic self and allowing it to be as it is, she'll stick around. But the minute that you start allowing outside of you to control you and letting other forces that are not you dictate what you should do and not do, and it's so easy for her just to go, see, I'm gonna get out of here because this is getting to one of those stupid states again. Oh, I'm gonna go over here because it's fun over here. You got to keep her attention by maintaining that embarrassed state. Because she doesn't want to be around somebody who's so easy to get pulled in and then just thrown around like a volleyball. Mm-mm. She likes being around someone who is empowered, fun, and having fun for themselves. Because when somebody's able to do that consistently, she actually comes in and celebrates with them. She wants to be around fun, and the most fun is being fulfilled and enjoying all your senses and around you. What's not fun is pretty much being that's not really being fun usually because whatever someone wants to do, they should always do that first. But if somebody wants to help somebody, be of service to somebody on their own will, that's different. But allowing somebody else to control your life and how it gets played out, no. Because life is meant to be not be a little marionette on a string for somebody else. Questions? Mm. But again, in due time, everything comes in time. And she understands that it is sometimes challenging based on circumstances, hence why she is able to consider re returning if you recover from being manipulated and misdirected by somebody. She understands that. But if you keep up the antics of being woozy wooed and thrown around all over the place, she may not come back for some time. But keep in mind, if you don't pick up on her, always remember, you never know if she's around and within your space or just a parent around you and you haven't noticed yet. She is known to come in randomly, subtle or loud, just to check in. You could just be minding your business and all of a sudden you just get a feeling of I'm sensing a presence. And long and behold, it's her going, nope, still stupid. I had faith, but oh well. Hey, you, yeah, you're being stupid. Stop it. Quit it. Nope, I'm not coming back yet. Why did I come and visit? Oh, I had hope, but now you crushed it. I'll come back next year to see. Are you actually drinking, or is that a joke? Oh, well, for like that vodka joke, yeah, there was no vodka in there. It was actually an empty cup. But really, that's another thing too. That's actually a art act of seduction there because it's making the mind wonder. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And seduction is one of the strongest associations. Hmm. And another way to actually strengthen the bond between you and Lilith. This is another one. This is probably a big one, at least in my opinion. If you notice somebody experiencing any kind of trauma, abuse, or is actually being unjustly attacked or harmed by somebody else for whatever reason, and it's out of line, especially if it's a woman being harmed, a good way to really impress her, take the action, go towards the abuser, neutralize them, or just do something to get the victim out of harm's way. Take action. And even though that was a little bit overkill, but in that kind of a situation, I'm glad it hasn't never escalated, at least in my 20 years, 28 years on this earth. But I have yelled at a twathead for yelling at his, I believe it was his girlfriend. I'm not really sure, but he was yelling at her. And I saw it, and then I just pretty, I'm trying to find the best way to actually articulate it. Essentially, how I spoke to him was like picking up a really sharp dagger and pretty much just going stabbing right to his soul and stabbing him. That strong of a pierce in terms of tone and words, mainly just tone. But I just said, you know, it's kind of disgusting that you have to talk to her like that, and that just shows your character. Filthy pig. It wasn't exactly that, but it was something to that extent. And he did get a little bit verbal back, and I mean, I just told him like, "Wow, it must be about that big, huh?" And then everybody was laughing at it. It was humiliated. Don't know what else to say, but that's what happens when you think you're big, head honcho, almighty, thinking that you can just yell at your partner or person you're dating just because you can over something so stupid. Joke's on you. Now you become the one that gets laughed at and, degraded. Oh, what happened, big macho man? What happened to that part of you that was all, oh, I'm big and tough? Because now you become the tushy of all the jokes. Oh, woe is you. But in all seriousness, if you are witnessing somebody who is being mistreated for no real good reason, and they're just being abused just for the heck of it, take a stand for them, stand up for them, because they may not be able to do it themselves. Exactly. And that's one of the really beautiful things about just the way that the human mind, and pretty much not only just the human mind, but like how animals pretty much react and act out. If there is somebody who has experienced the same trauma that somebody else that you have experienced, and if you're witnessing it, you're usually more inclined to actually stand up and protect others from it because you understand how painful said treatment is by experience. Hmm. And when you take a stand for others that are going through the same unnecessary BS that you did, you actually make peace with yourself and you actually become a little bit more influenced by the shadow side to come in and just allow it to finally table flip and let itself out. And thus that actually brings down that part of you, making it less being like a inward volcano ready to just. So that gets rid of that too. So it's important to understand that in no real just what reasoning and under no circumstance should ever there be the idea that it's okay to just use somebody as a verbal punching bag. Because really, of all the things that could be done instead, you could be channeling that into a better source of getting rid of it. But then another thing too, and this one is one that I have seen a bit more often than I would like. In fact, I don't even think I should ever come across it or see it or hear about it. Another good way to strengthen the bond with you and Lilith is stand up again for the same thing. But now, say if you see an elder figure, especially if it's an older woman, especially if she is afflicted with chronic disease of any kind, if you witness anybody taking a swing at someone like that who is already struggling so hard in their geriatric stages of life, if you're aware of that, and if you notice it and see it, hold on. Okay, I'm still here. Elderly woman who's already suffering from enough like mental complications, physical complications, no matter what. If you witness that, you had better hope you take a stand for it. Because in that situation, one, she more than likely is not able to protect and defend herself. Two, it's going to add more stress to her, and it's going to make her final stages of life more unbearable and cause more health problems. Three, it may actually lead to possible suicide in some way, shape, or form. Has potential. I'm not here to be nice about it, saying it has potential. That being said, any kind of geriatric abuse, especially like that, immediately it shouldn't even be asked. If you notice it, whomever's doing it needs a pretty firm brain reset upside the head. And doesn't really matter, at least in my opinion. It doesn't matter if you knock them out. In fact, good. You knocked them out and now they're out cold. Because in no way ever should it ever come to somebody's mind to treat somebody who has already lived their life and they're already suffering. It shouldn't even cross anybody's mind to think it's a good idea or it's even a choice to verbally swing at or degrade somebody who's already lived a good majority of their life and they're living their last part of their life and they're struggling to live day in day out. It shouldn't even be an option to swing at them. In fact, if somebody does think it's okay to swing at them, they need to get a good backhand across the face. And again, I'm not here to be nice. Because one, it does show their true character, and it shows that they're considerate, they don't know how to treat an elder, and they don't even know how to interact with a woman completely. Now, there's a fine line between interacting and having a disagree of opinion, but still being mindful, respectful, and considerate. There's a fine line. Disagreeing is encouraged because it allows there to be clarity and to have an exchange of ideas to better grow one another. That's the good way. The bad way is thinking, "Oh, you don't agree with me? Well, you're just a stupid insert whatever vulgar word here." No. You might as well just take a double barrel shotgun and blow your own foot off, because that's what you're doing. And when you stand up for somebody who can't defend themselves, Lilith really appreciates that. Because she was the only one there for herself, and seeing that you're doing that for somebody else who can't really defend themselves, that that gives back to you from her a lot of respect, dignity. And you have to be doing it because you want to, not with the mindset and the intention of, I'm going to stick up for this person because if I do, maybe Lilith will be more drawn to me. What you're doing is you're trying to impress somebody else. You're relying on outward again instead of doing it because you want to, because you feel empowered, supporting somebody else by choosing to. And you're also making it known that I'm not afraid of confrontation, but if I see stupid, that stupid is gotta go. Because it's just, wow. How can a human being like that even live so off of it? Trying to think. I'm trying to kind of keep this one a little bit short because at the end of the day, when it comes to Lilith, no matter what though, probably the best word to describe Lilith is unpredictable. Meaning, you never know what she's gonna do. One minute you may be thinking, oh, she might like me and may want to work with me. Then you come to find out shortly thereafter, she's like, never mind. I never mind. I was wanting to work with you, but I don't know. Something about that stupid thing. Nah, change my mind. And who knows, maybe she might be really drawn to work with you, and then 2 seconds later, you know what? Don't ever come towards me ever again. You never know. And that's the point with her. She is empowered and makes her choices, nobody else. Whether it's major, minor, doesn't matter. She does for her. And when she sees anything that restricts her and prevents her from being her, uh-oh, whoopsie, found. Time to scram and flip off while going away from one who is gonna baby. If you're expecting her to pick you up and be like, oh, it's okay. No, 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 I'm here. No, that's a big. So tell me, how is the earth because your face is on it and you're not getting up? Do you like licking the ground? Never heard of a human like licking dirt. No, 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 no. Stay there on the dirt. Who knows? Maybe you might have, one of Adam's bones in your mouth. And, you won't choke on it though because it's only that big. Get up, dude. Sure though. She won't baby you. She'll tell you, wow, what happened to that empowerment you had? Where did it go? Oh, it was a lie all along? Figures. You're just like one of those cartoon characters that slips on a banana peel. You're just like them. And heck, if you're getting taken out by a banana peel, of all the things, that is sad. And yeah, it is just like the cartoons. So, that does make you a joke. I just love when she pops in like that. And she has said that joke before about mocking somebody who got taken out by a banana peel. and how she just tied it together so seamlessly and insulted them at the end. But anyway, I'm probably going to end the stream here and I'm going to get to writing my Lilith book. And then shortly after a few hours, I have to go back into work for a client. And then if I'm free, I'll come back on and do some more, whatever deeming fit. So in the comments below, mention a topic you want me to go over or any questions you have, regardless of what it is, and maybe I'll answer them in the next live stream. So I'll see you guys later and be good out there. Do as you deem fit.